Hi everyone, my name is Olivia and I am a registered dietitian with Flik Hospitality Group. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are making one of my favorite breakfast recipes, which is pumpkin spiced oatmeal. This is a great foundation for any type of oatmeal that you want to make. It is a customizable recipe and something that you can kind of play around with to fit your preferences. So I'm hoping that by the end of this video you have some ideas to start making oatmeal a part of your regular breakfast rotation. I know a lot of people watching may not be super huge fans of oatmeal, but my goal for this video is to help you love oatmeal just as much as I do. So hopefully we accomplish that goal throughout this video. I'm going to give you some key tips on how to, again, make your oatmeal taste a little bit better so that you want to be enjoying it regularly for breakfast. So let's get started with the recipe. I actually already made my oats, so if you are starting from the beginning, super simple. You're gonna add 3/4 cup of water to a small pot, let that boil on your stove. Once it's boiled, you're gonna add 1/3 cup to about 1/2 cup of oats. This can be rolled oats, instant oats, or steel cut oats. All have the same nutrition, the only difference is the cook time and of course the texture. Whatever you prefer, doesn't matter to me. Once the oats have absorbed the liquid, you're gonna wanna take them off the stove, put them into a bowl, and then add your mix-ins. Key tips for making oatmeal taste better while you're cooking it. So 2 major tips here. Number 1, using milk instead of water to make your oats. I prefer using regular milk. It adds a decent amount of protein, about 8 grams in a cup, but you could also use a plant-based version, a soy milk, an almond milk, whatever you like. I like the regular milk. Again, it adds that protein that's going to give us staying power because protein actually helps keep us feeling fuller longer. So that's really something that I always have to use in my oatmeal. It also gives it a much creamier texture in my opinion. Number 2, add a little bit of kosher salt while you're cooking your oats. You will not regret this. It doesn't have to be kosher salt, whatever salt you have, just a pinch. It goes a long way and it is going to make your oats just taste that much better, I promise. And then another note here is that if you don't have time to do this on the stove, you can absolutely do it in your microwave. So throw the oats in for about a minute with the water. Stir after a minute, see how it's doing. If it needs to go back in, throw it back in. See how long it needs to be in there until it reaches that desired consistency. So those are some tips for making your oats taste better while cooking. The biggest thing for me really is the mix-ins and the toppings. So of course for this recipe we are mixing in canned pumpkin, which is awesome. Always have some of this on hand. You can use it for so many things. You can use it in place of oil or butter while you're baking. It's great like swirled in Greek yogurt for breakfast. And of course in oats like we're doing today. You're gonna add about a tablespoon, but feel free to add a little bit more if you like. Pumpkin is also really high in vitamin A and fiber, so something that a lot of Americans aren't getting enough of. So it kind of comes out looking like this. And then the last thing, which is super simple, is just adding your spices. So I'm using ground clove, ground ginger, ground nutmeg, and then of course some cinnamon, about 1/8 teaspoon of each. You could also take the easy route and just use pumpkin pie spice, which has basically all of those spices that I listed in one bottle. Just sprinkle a little bit on top. And there you have your pumpkin spice oatmeal. So great fall breakfast to include in your rotation. So let's talk about customizations for this oatmeal, further customizations. So we can add a few toppings to make this taste a little bit better and also provide a little bit more texture to our oatmeal. The first thing I usually think of is chopped nuts. So that can be walnuts, it can be pecans, whatever you have on hand. Gonna add a nice crunch. You could also do something like a granola, just a couple of tablespoons to again give you that texture that you're looking for. Another great addition would be chia seeds. Chia seeds are great because they add a little bit of like a gelled texture, a little bit creamy texture to your oatmeal. They also are really high in omega-3s, fiber, and protein. Great addition. Another thing I like to swirl in is like peanut butter or almond butter or cashew butter, whatever you have on hand. That's also great. And when you're adding like things like almond butter or chopped walnuts or pecans, you are adding a really good amount of heart healthy fats. And heart healthy fats are really gonna help also give you staying power. They kind of work with protein to make sure that you're feeling fuller longer. So a really great way to round out this oatmeal and make it just that much more balanced. There are also plenty of other things that you could add, like dried fruit or fresh fruit that could give you some more texture and of course flavor. So get creative with how you like to make your oatmeal. I promise when you make it right, it really does taste delicious, and you know, customize it to your liking, and you can play around with it and hopefully put it into your daily breakfast rotation and enjoy just as much as I do. Thanks for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you back here soon.